New Zealand First wants to legislate to make New Zealand the country's official geographic name. It has introduced a private member's bill to that effect, saying it'll give legal certainty and foster unity.
The official name of New Zealand is New Zealand, but it's not written into law. Generations after generations spent billions of dollars offshore to promote our product, our people, our tourism, and then some decide without any authority or any permission from the New Zealand taxpayers and New Zealand citizens that they'd like to change the name because it sounds good to them.
But isn't Māori culture also a part of that brand? And if people want to say Aotearoa New Zealand, we should be allowed to.
No, because it's not the Māori name for New Zealand. That's my point.
Aotearoa is often used interchangeably with New Zealand.
It has no legal, it has no historic, and it certainly has no authority in the Māori world, particularly if you go and ask Ngāi Tahu, who as late as 2021 said it's not the name for where we live. If the people want to change it, let the New Zealand people decide, not unelected bureaucrats. I would think about 70 or 80% of New Zealanders find the whole idea outrageous. But they're not being consulted, they're not being asked. But about 80% now think that what's going on is wrong. There was a survey done in March about that. It's really high.
80% of people don't think it should be called Aotearoa New Zealand, the country.
80% is unity. I tell you what's not unity, 15%.
Okay.
New Zealand First policy announcements in the sense of wanting a referendum again on the future of Māori seats. What I mean by again is, of course, this was policy from 2017. Could you talk to me what this is all about, and is New Zealand ready for such a referendum?
Some of us were campaigning for electoral change and for a thing called a mixed member proportional MMP. And the Royal Commission of 1986 said that if MMP was introduced, in time it would prove to the Māori people that there would be no need for the Māori seats because they'd be filled, the numbers would be filled up in Parliament in proportion. Well, they were more than right. Electoral Commission was right about MMP, demonstrating there no need for the Māori seats. Today, the number of Māori in Parliament, percentage-wise, well, with a Māori background, is 27%. That's way above the proportion of Māori in the population, even if you argue the proportion is 17%. Now, to get to the argument that the portion is 17%, you don't have to be half Māori, a quarter Māori. All you have to do is quote the fact that you've got a Māori ancestor, or 1 part in 512. Isn't this fascinating? Now, my point is, that's already happened. And the people, just 20 years ago, 60% of Māori won the Māori roll. Today it's 50%, and it's falling. They're voting with people, our people are voting with their feet. Because they want practical politicians who can do the job, not some system of establishment of entitlement which is no longer required. 27% of Parliament is a whole lot better than 4%.
Yeah, no, totally. I hear the point you're making, and I understand that perspective.
At the same time, the money financing the Te Pāti Māori, of course, is money that was given to Māori for health and education and other purposes. And you might ask yourself this, how come the Tamaheri family is so wealthy? So we say by Māori for Māori? No, in this case it's by Māori for just some of us Māori. Then here comes this new breed. Got all these expensive houses, got all the expensive property, got tens of millions of dollars in the account, and all on the back of their own people. Now please don't tell me that we're looking at the same sort of Māori here.
Right.